Kia ora everyone, welcome back to the channel and to September completed pages. So if you've seen my previous video, I did talk about a bunch of things that happened in September, including the fact I moved. I also had a little bit of a mental health crisis that I had to deal with. So I didn't do a lot. I did do some colouring, particularly at the start of September before things got absolutely wild. But I didn't do a lot. The first couple of days of September, I was churning out, and then basically for the final 3.5 weeks, I did not colour at all. So I have 6 completed pages to show you, plus some whips. Yeah, it was a little sad because I was really looking forward to Space Timber, and I had some really gorgeous things pulled that I was really excited to colour. But then life happened and we didn't quite get there. I also, because of mental health crisis, have now got very bitter nails. So we're dealing with short nail Amy again because that's what happens. I also, because of the move, haven't finished setting up, including my lights. Now I do have a gorgeous big window here with lots of natural light. So I'm hoping that this will work for this video just until I get the lighting situation sorted here. My lights are still packed. I have no idea where, and I have to figure out how the lighting is going to work in here. So lighting's going to take a bit of time for me to figure out, but honestly, I struggle with lighting all the time anyway, so there's no difference in that. But yes, let's get into the list, and I'll show you what I have done. So yeah, as I said, I only completed 6 pages, and one of those was a buddy. I had so many buddies lined up that I did not get to complete, and I'm so sorry to all my buddies. I think I've messaged all of you. I had a lot of buddies this month, so hopefully I've contacted you all and explained. I'm pretty sure I have, but again, the month is a bit choppy-churny. But we'll start with Doodle Invasion by Kirby Rosannes. So this is the only buddy I did manage to complete, and it was a buddy with Emily of eArt Studios. And we did the turtle page, this one here. So this is my first page in this book. I have got some pages completed or started in here from the previous owner because this was a second-hand book. But this is the first page I have completed in here. And I used alcohol markers, and then I used Pablo pencils to shade on top, as well as some Poscas to bring out the white and the black of the eyes again, because they got a little blurry with the Pablos. So I used them to help bring out the details. And I was originally thinking that maybe I would paint around the background and turn that black just so your focus would be right here. And I'm still tempted to do that because I think that contrast would really help it pop even more. But I am very happy with where it ended at. I decided that I wanted the turtles to be obviously quite a bit of the focus because the turtles are very cool. But then I went through and tried to match up each type of creature so that it wouldn't be as color overwhelming. So like all these little ghosty, squishy things are all pink. All the fish are yellow. A couple of these odd creatures I did in purple, and then like there was a few starfish. I did them all orange. The snails are all red and yellow. I was trying to keep it quite cohesive in that sense. Like it's still a lot of color because it is essentially every color of the rainbow, but I was trying to keep it cohesive. And I do like how it turned out. And I will make sure I put up a picture of Emily's gorgeous page here. I love how she approached this page. I need to remember how she's done this by just making the turtles one color and then keeping everything else monochromatic and making those creatures look like they're part of the water and forming the water. I love this effect. Like, I really love it so much. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, damn, that's a good idea. And of course, there's quite a few of these Kirby Doodle pages in my collection. So I know I'm definitely going to pull inspiration from that and take that concept and do that on another page, whether it be in Doodle Invasion or one of my other Kirby books with the older ones with the doodles. But I love how Emily approached this page. So Emily, fantastic job. Thank you so much for buddying up with me and working in this untouched book for me. So there's Doodle Invasion by Kirby Rosans. And then the other buddy that I had with Emily that I did not complete, bottom of the pile, was in Wish You Were Here by Teresa Goodridge. It's been a while since I've done a Teresa Goodridge one, so I was really excited to get into this. This is also an untouched book for me and was also an untouched book for Emily, so that's why we chose to work in it. And we chose this page here. Now, I'm very close to being finished on this one. The buildings are all done, the hillside is all done, all the flowers and the leaves are done. Apart from her skin, she's practically done. I've just got a bit of shading on the water, the stones here. And then I want to pull out Poscas to like remove the cloud outlines and bring in some highlights. And I think I was planning on also glittering the water to make it like really sparkly and interesting. Also want to take some white Poscas and like go over some of the window glares. And so it's just like highlighting and finishing details that is left to do. So I am very close to this one and I'm pretty confident that I will get it finished in October. It's just, yeah, I did not quite finish it. This was the one that I did the most work on after the first couple of days of September. Like everything I'm going to show you, I basically did in the first 5 days of September. And then this one I pulled out for a couple of days, a couple of points, but I really couldn't do a lot on it. I just wasn't able to concentrate with everything going on. So even sitting down to colour, I had a small selection of books at my mum's, like about, I think basically all my buddy colour books for every buddy that I had lined up. I brought those up here. And I just wasn't able to concentrate on anything. So, yeah, it's a shame. But it's okay. We'll get that one finished off and it'll just go into the whip pile and we'll aim for October to finish off Wish You Were Here by Teresa Goodridge. And then the other Teresa Goodridge that I pulled out as well was Autumn Harvest. So we are in the Southern Hemisphere, of course, moving into spring, but I know September, October, we get a lot of autumn and pumpkin pages, and I see them all loaded up on Instagram, and it makes me want to colour autumn pages, even though we're in spring here. So, yeah, I try not to do seasonal colouring because I'm so opposite in seasons to most, well, I say most, half of the world is in the same hemisphere as me. But, you know, I see so much autumnal colouring around this time of year that I'm like, I want to colour autumn as well, even though it's spring. So I don't really follow seasonal colouring. So I started working on this page here. As you can see, it is very autumnal colours, but I haven't done anything more than put down alcohol markers for the base. So that's the extent of what I have done, is just a base layer and alcohol markers. There is no shading or any detail on top of it. So I will have to come in with my pencils and actually add some depth and dimension because it's very flat colouring. But I wanted to do a very harmonious, traditional autumnal palette. So lots of oranges and browns and then that pop of green and red. So really trying to keep quite a limited cohesive palette. And I do like the colours I've chosen. So I'm excited to get in there and actually finish shading it. And that will be my first page in Autumn Harvest as well. Another untouched book. So I ended up doing a page in the Colouring Heaven collection, Felwell. I'm not sure how to pronounce this. This is a British comic artist and is all about horse racing and ponies. I've never heard of this before. This was when I used to get every single Colouring Heaven magazine from the store under me because I did enjoy most of the Colouring Heaven issues. This was one that I did debate leaving behind, but at that point my collection was like so numerical, I knew I'd be annoyed if I didn't get it. Now I don't get them because I don't have access to them locally and I don't really want to sign up for a subscription. So I could have not gotten it, but it's in my collection, and I thought, you know what? It's a fun little book. It's got really fun illustrations, and I thought it would be a good one to just sort of mindlessly color if I needed to one day. And I needed mindless coloring, so it was a good choice this month. And this is the one that I've done here. So this is alcohol markers for the base, and I think I used Pablo's. I did. So yes, it is Pablo's to shade on top. And again, it's just simple shading, really. It wasn't too much complicated detail with the shading. I did kind of keep it very light in terms of shading, just to add some dimension and texture, but I wasn't looking to go really intense. A lot of the shading in the bush, for example, was me just dotting different alcohol markers and then using the lightest Pablo to just bring in some highlights. So yeah, a lot of simple shading, but I really liked how it turned out. And again, for such a simple page with some mindless coloring, it did what I needed. And yeah, I think I'm going to enjoy actually coloring some more in here on the days that I just want some cute, simple coloring, because it is quite fun. Like, they are really fun illustrations. So yeah, that is Colouring Heaven Collection. Felwell. I still don't know how to pronounce this. Feelwell? It's designs by Norman Feelwell. I don't know. If somebody knows how to pronounce this, please put it phonetically in the comments for me. Alright, another page I managed to complete is a page in Crystal Colouring by Kate O'Hara. This was another untouched book. In fact, every single completed page this month was in an untouched book. So that was really cool. And we have the selenite, the stone. So each page in this book is named in about different stones. It's why it's called crystal coloring. So it focuses on lots of different crystals and stones. So the actual selenite is this white iridescent type stone. And I did Google how it looks as well. But it's quite a beautiful, simple white stone. And I just wanted to play with that. And again, I was just in the mindset of simple coloring because this was around the time that everything was going crazy. So this is just alcohol markers. All the shading is done in alcohol markers. Very, very simple shading. And then I used some Art Deco iridescent medium, iridescent topper to create this white shimmer on top. And so I put that on the moon and the little stone gems in here and the stones themselves. I did think about putting it on the wolf, but I actually liked the little bit of grey that I had gotten in there for some colour and just a little pops of grey. So I wanted to go with that sort of white grey wolf because I felt like it reflected the stone well. And I was just really happy with it. I think originally I was also thinking about putting glitter on this background for the starry sky. But I actually really like the little pop of yellow and the way it just sort of draws you into the wolf's eye. So I decided not to. I was like, no, the little shimmer on top of the stones will be enough glitter. Yeah, I think I tuned that out in like one night. It was very, very quick. In fact, I think this and the Farewell horse page I did on the same night because they were so quick. So yeah, but I enjoyed it and it turned out really, really cute and I like it. So that's Crystal Colouring by Kate O'Hara. Now Koneko. This one was a whip and is still a whip. But I did manage to finish all the base work, which is wonderful. So everything has now got an Inktense base. And then I did start adding in some pencil shading to bring in the dimension. So you can see the difference between the two lollipops. This one on the side here has been shaded and those ones in the center have not been shaded. So I've just started creating a little bit more depth and texture just to add some 3D-ness to everything so it's not so flat. There's still a lot of shading to go on this one, but we are at least all based. All the colors have been decided. So it's just going through and finishing off the shading, adding in the glitter for the sky, and then this page will be done. And I really would like to get this one finished, A, because it's been a whip for 2 months now, but B, with it being October and Halloween, there are some gorgeous pages in here for Halloween that I would like to work on. So, we've got like the potion shop with the witch kitty, we've got them in costume. These, of course, this big double page spread that I've seen done a few times. Yeah, there's quite a few autumn ones, but I really like these Halloween ones. And even this one of them reading books could be quite Halloweeny as well. So yeah, I would like to get this done so I could work on one of these. I don't know if I want to do another big double page spread or if I want to move on to the potion shop, but I would like to work on another one of these. So yeah, hopefully we will get this done in October and maybe even start working on another one. So I really do love the story of Precious Cats by Naoko Neko. Right, this is one I actually managed to complete, and this is my only post that I put up for Space Timber. This one was done right at the start of September, and I wish I had managed to get more done for Space Timber. It was so cool to see how that took off from just a little idea that was put up in the Alien Worlds group chat to just taking off in the community. So it was so cool to see. And it was so cool to see all the pages that came out of it as well. So yeah, I wish I had been able to participate more, but it happens. And I have a feeling it'll be back next year. So we'll do some more space then. But in the meantime, we did complete one page in Geomorphia by Kirby Rosans. This was another previously untouched book for me. And I completed this polar bear. So because I added in the galaxy, I felt like this one could go for Space Timber. So I'm glad I did because I otherwise wouldn't have a page officially posted for Space Timber. So did I use alcohol markers? I think I used Inktense for this. I'm pretty sure I also did this one on stream. Yeah, Inktense, Polly's, Pablo's, Olenor, Albert Dürer, Posca, Mod Podge. Wow. Yeah, so I used Inktense and then Koh-i-Noor Mondeluz Equials and Albert Dürer by Faber-Castell water-soluble pencils to do all the basing. And then I used my Faber-Castell Polychromos and my Caran d'Ache Pablos to do all the shading on top to create more depth. And there is Posca as well for all the bubbles and the stars that I added to the galaxy sky, as well as Mod Podge Extreme Glitter, which is why the sky is so glittery. I love it. I love Extreme Glitter. It's such a good glitter. And yeah, I'm really happy with how this one turned out. I mean, it's one of my favorite color combos. It's pink, purple, blue. So you really can't go wrong with pink, purple, blue. But I'm very happy with how it turned out, and also trying to create that light effect of the pink glow of the sky affecting the top, but then the blue from underneath affecting the bottom of things. So, like this is white ice, but we've got pink on top and blue from the water. So playing with those fun color effects as well, which is something I love to do as well. Yeah, very pleased with how this one turned out, and it was an untouched book as well. So another one that has been worked in off the list. Now, I did technically complete another page for Space Timber. I just never got around to posting it. So I actually did a page in Retro Deco by Carla Margana. And this is my first Carla Margana page and my first page in this book that I printed. And I chose to do this one here. Do I need to take it out of the plastic? I think we're all right. I think we can do it in the plastic. So again, this is another simple colouring page. Again, I really was not in the mood for a lot of complicated shading. And I really like the sort of 80s feel of the background. So I really wanted to play with that sort of bright, vivid pop of the background. So all of this is alcohol markers. And then there is some Posca as well for outlining and highlights. And then a bunch of glitter, Stickles glitter on the yellow jewelry. And I also gave her some on her lips. And I just really wanted to go with alien space vibes, but also in the 80s. I felt like that was definitely the vibe of the page. And I like how it turned out. It was actually really fun. And it was the perfect little colouring page for what I needed at the time. Wasn't too much concentration, it wasn't too long for me to work in, it was a lot of flat colouring and then just using Poscas to pull out some highlights. So yeah, I really enjoyed it, and it really was the page I needed at the time. And I feel like she is an 80s alien. So that is Retro Deco by Carla Margana. Romantic Country. This one is still a whip. I tried to work on this one. This is another one. I had Wish You Were Here and Romantic Country out, and I tried to work on this one during the first week of September after I was up here at Mum's. I had this one at Mum's. I was trying and I just could not concentrate on it. So, yeah, we didn't get too far into the page, but what I have done, I love, and I love how this book is. I definitely want to get some more airy books because I think this is right up my alley in terms of what I like to colour. So I worked on this Menon's flower cart page. This was a buddy. I don't believe my buddy also got their page finished, so I might message him and be like, you want to try and aim for October? We'll see how we go. But so far I have used Inktense pencils, and I actually used a colourless blender alcohol pen to activate the Inktense, which provided like some really interesting textures and blends. It did shadow through slightly, unfortunately, but most of this background's blank, so I might be able to paint that out or something later on. But I'm really enjoying how it's progressing so far. I like my brickwork. I like the colours that I've chosen, and it's just figuring out the rest of the colours and finishing off this page. So yeah, I might try to get back to that in October. Again, this is another one that it would be really nice to finish it off so I could work on something else, because there are some gorgeous Halloween pages in here that really would be amazing for October and Halloween. Just, yeah, this is like, I love this magic potion shop. I also love this big double page spread of all the shops. So yeah, there's a few in here that would also work for October vibes and Halloween, and it would be really nice to also try and colour those. But we're also not putting any pressure on myself this month. There will not be a October plans video because my plans is literally whatever I want to colour is what we're colouring, because no pressure, and I still have not managed to pick up a pencil. So I've just got to find my mojo again. So if anything gets me colouring, that's what we're colouring. That's the plan. So Romantic Country, the second tale by Erie. A work in progress. Oh, excuse me, I've still got the little tail ends of my chest cold, chest infection. Goddess and Mythology by Selena Fennick, which has been recovered so I can touch the cover. Oh, so much better. So I pulled this one out in September because I'd had so many issues with my mermaids colouring book that I wanted to try this book to see if the paper was the same, to see if I had the same issues, and see if it's just that specific Selena Fennick book or it was all of them. And I'm happy to say it was that specific Selena Fennick book because I did manage to complete a page in here and I didn't have any of the issues. Oh my god, it was just such a dream to be able to actually colour this page. Now, is it great paper? No, it's still Amazon printed paper. But I can work with Amazon printed paper, so I don't know what happened in that mermaid book. But yeah, that mermaid book is definitely unhauled now, and something about that paper is just not right. So I'm just double checking. It is Peplo's. So this page has been coloured with a base of alcohol markers, which you can see through here and see some of my weird colour placements. And then I use Pablo coloured pencils, Posca, and also some black acrylic paint in the background to block that out. And I really wanted to play with the idea that this cauldron was the light source and was causing a glow effect. Now, I did not get that correct on the face. I tried my best to fix it up, but I realized that I had done this wrong. I should have just done the green highlighting her cheeks and then the green coming in here and just hitting here. The recesses under the cheek should not be green. Like, it should just be the forward hitting parts, which would be the chin. Coming up on the chin, it should be the lips, especially the top lip and just the bottom of the lower lip, the nose at the bottom, and then the high points of the cheek is where it should be hitting green. And I did not do that right, but that is something to take away and learn from. Like, I'm still really pleased at how far I pushed myself to do this. This is a really odd color blend. It's an odd lighting source, and I knew it would be a challenge for me to do an underlit glowing face. So I went into this knowing I wasn't 100% sure where I was putting the highlights on here. I thought I had it figured out, didn't quite do it right, and by the time I realized how to fix it, it was too late. But overall, I'm still very happy with the page. I do feel like she is glowing from the cauldron. Like, if I ignore this part of the face and just look at her body, like, this to me is screaming, this is our light source. I did manage to achieve it on here. So, you know, I'm happy with how I pushed myself with this color blend. The face isn't perfect, but I learned from it. And I still really love how it turned out. It came out exactly how I imagined, except for the little face shading bit. But hey, future learns. And I'm just happy that the paper worked. So that is the Goddess and Mythology Colouring Book by Selena Fennick. And then the last one I have to show you is a whip. And this was one that I was also working on for Space Timber that I did not complete. And that is from Daria Song's The Time Garden. So before I show you this page, I want to show you another similar page. I can find one. There's a few pages in here that are like this page. Might be on a bit. Okay, no, I'm not going to find it now that I want to find it. But there's a few pages in here that use these sort of star patterns in the background. And it's a whole double page spread of the star. And then you've just got a little figure in the corner. And the page that I worked on was one of these pages. And I genuinely could not be bothered sitting there colouring in all the stars. Like, that wasn't appealing to me. There's an example for you. So there's a few pages like this where it's just stars and then a little figure. I didn't want to do that. A mindless wallpaper page might have been what was right, but that wasn't what I wanted to do with the page. And I had an idea, and this is the idea here. So I actually recorded this because this is going to go up as a YouTube video on how to paint a sort of nebula galaxy in your coloring book page. And then I never finished the page. So I still have that footage, and I do plan to finish this in October and get that video up. Even though Space Timber has ended, I thought it would still be a good little tutorial of how to create a painted galaxy nebula if you wanted to add this to your page. So what I have left to do is obviously just color the little figure, and then I was also going to put Mod Podge Extreme Glitter over this because I love glittery starry skies. So I thought it would be quite cool to also add Mod Podge to make this also glittery. But this whole thing has been done in acrylic paint. So yeah, if you're interested in that tutorial on how to produce this effect, please let me know down below, because that'll motivate me to get on to finishing this page and editing it and getting it up. Again, I know it's past Space Timber now, but that was going to be the one big thing I wanted to do in Space Timber, was put up this galaxy painting video. So I'll try to get that out as soon as possible. But again, I'm still not 100%, so we're not putting pressure on ourselves, but we'll do our best. But yeah, I really like how this turned out. I really enjoy the effect of it, and I think once I put the final bit of glitter on there and have her coloured in as well, it's just really going to come together. And it wasn't actually too long to do this as well. I'm pretty sure I did this in like an evening in just a couple of hours. So yeah, and it was really fun just to pull out acrylic paints and just play. And it was just black, white, purple, and navy paint. And honestly, I didn't really need navy either. Just kind of played with navy as well. But yeah, a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, and I hope to get this one finished in October. Plus, then I will have a double page spread finished in The Time Garden, which is an untouched book for me. All right, so now it is time for our stats. So as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are my completed pages. You can see by the dates here that the last finished page was completed on the 3rd of September. So the first day of September, I did a whole lot of colouring. Geomorphia I did on a live stream, and then that night I did the crystal colouring and retro deco. The next day I did the Doodle Invasions and Feel Well, and I started the Goddess and Mythology page and then finished that the next day. So that was a lot done in the first 3 days, and then the rest of September I did nothing. These were done in the next couple of days, and then I just stopped. So yeah, if I had actually managed to have a month where I was working solidly, I could have probably tuned out a lot. Like at the start of the month, I was tuning out a lot of pages, but you know, sometimes the months go like that, and that's the way it is. So hopefully we'll get a bit more of these whips done next month. So because of the fact that there was one existing whip that I worked on that I didn't finish, but 4 new whips created, my work in progress list is back up to 10 after working so hard last month and getting it down to 6, which is a bit sad, but the Wish You Were Here and the Time Garden are both nearly complete. So we'll definitely knock those 2 off, I reckon, next month. And then I will hopefully get a couple more of these knocked out as well. So we'll hopefully get that back down to my goal of 9 or less for the end of the year. So we're still nowhere near where we were. So we're not near the high 20s or the original 58. So still progress on that, even though it did go up 4. And then the other thing as well is I did get 2 new books in September, which brings my total book collection now to 228. But of the 6 pages I completed, 6 of them were in new books. So that was quite handy as well, which brings my worked total to 69.7%, which is very close to the 75%. That's a 2% increase. So not a huge amount, but we are inching closer to that 75% that I would like to hit by the end of the year. So I think we're doing really well in terms of the goals. Yeah, October I'm very much looking forward to. I don't have any set concrete plans on what I want to colour. I just know that whatever inspires me to colour this month is the goal. It's basically about finding my groove, finding my colouring mojo again, but also I've got a lot of unpacking to do. I've got a lot of sorting to do. So there's also a lot going on mentally, and it's also about being kind to myself. So what I produce this month is what I produce. No pressure this month. We're just going to do our best. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed seeing all these pages. Please let me know down below any thoughts, your favourite page, what you've been up to. Just how's your day going? I know, I love hearing from y'all, and it would be wonderful to hear from y'all, and I hope you all have a wonderful colouring month. And I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!